What's going on? My name is NFT Flenny, and today I'll be giving you guys a list of sets that I think that if you want to complete them, you'll need to do it soon, because very soon these will be unattainable and out of reach. So you're not going to want to miss your chance for them. With all these talks of the Master Collector program coming up soon, sets are becoming more and more valuable and more important. So before and currently, sets don't give you any kind of bonus or reward for holding them, just bragging rights and that number on your profile. But very soon we will get tangible rewards through the Master Collector program for holding sets. So if you're looking to get ahead and be ahead of the herd and be a Master Collector, you're definitely going to want to consider these sets to complete for your collection. If you want to learn more about the Master Collector program, which I highly recommend you do if you're into Veve or if you want to get serious into Veve, I definitely recommend checking out my previous video, because I do a deep dive into what will be coming, the rewards that you can get, and how you can be ahead. So definitely check out my last video. It'll answer a lot of questions about this program, but this will be about which sets are the most valuable in my opinion for their price tag. So that means that this won't be a list of the best sets on Veve or my favorite sets. Rather, it'll be sets that I think will be the most valuable, like I said, in accordance with their price tag and how valuable they'll be as far as the Master Collector program goes. To go along with that, I'm not going to be including sets that are tens of thousands of dollars, like the set with Donnie or, a golden Moogly, that kind of thing. It'll be relatively affordable sets. If a normal person, a non-Vevier, a non-digital collector's watching this, they might think that all these prices are outrageous, but I'll be talking about relatively cheap, relatively attainable sets. This won't be attainable for everybody, but it's definitely in the realm of possibility, especially if you are good at flipping or that kind of thing. So without further ado, let's get into the list. To help me with my research and with my data, I used VeveSetlist.com, which is made by Bravo's Assassin on Twitter. So I'll put a link to both the website and the Twitter user down below. Big credit to him for making this spreadsheet and for being able to help me out, pull some data. So here we go. First things first, number one, it has to be Batman Black and White Season 1. It's only right. This set really speaks for itself. It's relatively expensive because of the Risso. Well, a lot of them are expensive, not just the Risso, but that puts it over the top for being an expensive set. But it's not the most expensive on Veve, which you think it might be, because let me rattle off the list of first that it is. It's the first set on Veve ever. It's the first DC NFTs ever. The first Batman NFT ever. And everything in it is first edition. And then we got our boy Todd is first appearance. This is a historic set no matter which angle you look at it from. You really cannot go wrong with this if you're looking at it from the first set on Veve. If you think Veve as an app, as a platform will do well, the first ever drop. If you think Batman/DC collectibles will do well, first ever drop. If you think NFTs in general will do well, it's one of the first big time licensed collectibles ever. So this one lives up to its name of being Season 1 because it's Season 1. It's the first of everything you could ever think of. So this one, no brainer, top of my list. By the way, I know I just said top of my list, but I should mention that this list is not necessarily in order. Well, it's not in order at all. I didn't make it with an order in mind, but just so you know, just getting that out of the way. Next set, we got Superman, our first one of one set on the list. For those of you who don't know, a one of one set is basically just a set that only requires one collectible. So in this case, first appearance Superman, owning just one of him will get you a set on your profile. And Dan had talked about holding multiple sets. He says that you'll get rewards for every set you hold, even if it's a duplicate set. So if that ends up being true, it sounds like it's a little bit up in the air, but if that is true, then holding multiple Supermen would be a possible way for you to just rack up those points. We all know Superman. He's one of the most famous, iconic, popular superheroes of all time in the world. Pretty hard to beat that, right? So between the one of one set, one of the most iconic superheroes ever, and a first appearance, when you put all those together, this makes for a great set. Next up, we got Modern Marvel's Series 1 Spider-Man. So this was the first ever Marvel NFT and first appearance of Spider-Man in NFT form as well. And so this set is pretty similar to Batman Black and White Season 1 in the sense that it's the first of its kind for a big time comic book company, this time being Marvel instead of DC. And it's the first appearance of one of its most iconic characters. So when you just put first of Marvel in anything, that's already going to be valuable, because we all know how on fire Marvel's been. They've been putting out all kinds of shows, movies. They've been great. I've been watching them. Super high quality. There's on fire right now, and I don't see them slowing down. So having the first ever Marvel NFT, that just goes such a long way. And of course it's Spider-Man. Who doesn't love Spidey, right? He's a great character, awesome superhero. And the secret rare for this set makes this borderline unattainable. Maybe not even borderline, because it recently shot up in price. If you asked me a few days ago or even a month or two ago, this would definitely be a much more attainable set. I threw it in there just because first Marvel NFT, really hard to pass up. If you can somehow make this set happen, I really don't see how you could go wrong. Of course, this is never financial advice, but it's so hard to see where the first ever Marvel NFT and the first appearance of Spider-Man, where that could go wrong. So this set, one of the best for sure. I was hesitant to include it because of the price range, but didn't want to leave it out. There you go. Next up, we got the Marvel Mighties Captain America set. Now don't sleep on this set just because they're little cartoon Marvel Mighties. These are still all first appearances of their respective characters in NFT form. If you were around in Veve for this time, you'd know that there is a bit of controversy because this Steve Rogers Marvel Mighty came out first, and then a few weeks later they released the animated version of Captain America, and they originally had it being first appearance, but then people were like, well, the Marvel Mighty already came out. That's the first appearance of Steve Rogers, and like, what's this? How is this a different first appearance? And they actually removed the first appearance from the new animated one that they're going to release. So now that one has no designation, no first anything, because that belongs to our boy Marvel Mighty Steve Rogers. So I think down the line this will come up huge. Right now I think people are kind of overlooking it because the animated version looks a lot cooler, looks more clean, more like a traditional collectible, but it played out how it played out, and the Marvel Mighty Steve Rogers version is the first appearance. So I think this is extremely slept on, this entire set, not just the Steve Rogers, because these are all still iconic characters, and again, first appearance in NFT form, cannot go wrong. Marvel superheroes, what more could you ask for? This one is slept on. And I'm gonna hit you guys with back-to-back Marvel Mighties, because next we got Fantastic Four Marvel Mighties, and all the same rules still apply. Even though they're little mighty cartoon figures, they are still first appearances, each and every one of them. So do not sleep on that fact. And I think, again, right now people are overlooking it, or they don't think they look as cool, but down the line no one's gonna think about, oh, well, there was a second animated one that was actually the first figurine. No, they say, what's the first appearance? That one has first appearance. That's the one I want. These first appearances, no matter how they look, they still hold up, so keep that in mind. Coming up next, we got Starships Series 1. So Trekkies are some of the biggest fans out of any fandom. Star Trek's been around forever. It was the Star Wars before Star Wars, and it has such a rich history of collecting, huge fandom, and I think that the reason these prices are so low is because, well, the first reason is that for whatever reason vehicles on Veve don't do that well. Maybe because there's less personality to them, you can't do as much with them, maybe. I'm not sure exactly why, but first of all, vehicles don't do as well on Veve, and second of all, I just don't think the Star Trek crowd has found out about NFTs, or at least found out about Veve yet. So I think once digital collecting gets more up to speed and more mainstream, I think this is one of the first sets that will see a huge price increase from hardcore collectors, because like I said, Trekkies are some of the biggest hardcore fans, and Star Trek already is collected a bunch in real life. But I could really see this taking off sometime in the future. Don't expect these to go crazy tomorrow, but I think in a few years this could be a really good long time hold. So Star Trek Starships Season 1, first appearance again, also first appearance of Star Trek in NFT form ever. So there you go, just more to add on to it. I could see this one being a great long-term hold. Next up, No Time to Die movie posters Series 1. James Bond 007 is one of the most successful, long-running, and famous movie franchises ever. James Bond is recognized across the whole world. The reason it made this list is because just of the credentials of 007, it's already so big and famous and such a huge brand. Honestly, I feel like this didn't get enough credit for Veve for having them. I feel like we kind of just accepted it because one day they dropped all these James Bond stuff on us, but if you really think about it, that's huge that Veve has this. Not only that, they've been really breaking barriers when it comes to the potential and the utility of NFTs, because we saw the first ever movie ticket NFT with James Bond. So they've been breaking barriers, they've been trailblazing. I think the first set of these movie posters, I think they could be valuable, and I also included them because they're relatively cheap compared to other sets on Veve. So if you're looking for a somewhat cheap one that could also hold up long term and be an iconic kind of landmark piece, this is one that might be a good option for you. And last but not least, we got Captain Carter. Now, just like Superman, she is a one-of-one set. So just having her alone will give you a set. I was actually able to get her for 25 bucks on the drop. So 25 bucks completing a set, that might be the cheapest set I've ever completed. So that was awesome. Really happy about that. She's not 25 bucks anymore, unfortunately, but she's still one of the cheapest sets to complete. She's part of the What If series. I just talked about Disney Plus and Disney and Marvel making all these cool movies and everything. What If is a new TV show on Disney Plus that came out. If we see these characters, stories start to be told more and become more popular, more mainstream, this could be a collectible that could take off later down the line when Captain Carter becomes more of a recognizable Marvel character. There is lots of upside with this one just by the fact that she's not as popular as other characters like Spider-Man. Everyone knows Spider-Man already, but with Captain Carter, not as many people. She could be undervalued. If you compare her to the other Marvel Mighties, for example, the ultra rare of the two other Marvel Mighty sets, which would be Red Skull and Doctor Doom, she's actually cheaper than both of them, and they don't complete a set on their own, but she does. If we're comparing the values, I think that's a key indicator that she is undervalued. Well guys, there you have it. There was my list of sets that if you want to complete some more sets, these might be some of your last chances because, like I said, so much going on, so much coming up. Who knows if a whale could come and sweep the floor with all these, or a few whales, just pile these all up. And with the Master Collector program, we never know which sets will take off or if they will because, you get points for them. In my opinion, it might be better to play it safe and get these locked and loaded before the announcements and before the program actually launches. I like to play it safe. I like to kind of get in before the hype and just lock my positions in case I miss out on a few opportunities. Add to your collection, add to your Master Collector ranking when it comes out. These sets, in my opinion, are the way to go, or at least a good starting point. If you guys think I missed something, if you think one of my recommendations was terrible, not good, leave it down in the comments. If you enjoyed the content, please consider liking and subscribing because it really helps my new channel grow. We can just get this video out to more people in the Veve community and spread the wealth, spread the knowledge, spread the love. Thanks for watching, guys. This has been NFT Flenny. I'll see you guys next time.